Okay, good afternoon. This is Debbie Davis. It is Sunday, September 28th. Okay, so we we were, looking for some things to happen in September here. You know, I think it'll still happen. There is some things happening behind the scenes. So there's the Feast of Trumpets that we just went through, but then there's also, we're going through something called the Feast of Tabernacles in October. Okay. But there are some things happening though behind the scenes. There's a lot of things going on. But I wanted to. I'm also reading another book that I want to just read a few things from this other book that I'm reading that gives a lot of clues into how we got to this terrible position in this country and in this world. And it's another book that I'm reading called Rule by Secrecy by Jim Marrs. And he's pointing out many things that, so he's dead now. You have to understand like how much whistleblowers are risking their lives and have risked their lives to tell people truths like this. Like, you can't imagine the it's hard for people to understand unless you see it for yourselves, the level of harassment that I've gone through and that probably he went through. We all get death threats. I've lost count of how many death threats and how many times. I mean, it's gone on for 13 years. Okay. And it's just like, and that's what I get frustrated with is this. I feel like it's a spirit of selfishness. And, it's like, yeah, people are ignorant of this type of thing, but it's ignorance, and some people are just lazy. They don't do their research. It's a mixture of different things, but you expect God to save you, but you don't want to help like whistleblowers that are literally risking their lives to help you. Okay. And that is the spirit that God doesn't like, that's the spirit that God can't stand, and he's not tolerating it, I mean, there's very few people that have tried to help me. They're afraid, and I understand why they're afraid. But, I've risked my life to help everybody else, and I thought there was going to be a lot more people that would try to help me, and there's hardly been anybody, for years. There has been some, but very very few. Okay, and I'm really just appalled to be honest on how few people have tried to help me when I've done so much for my country. Okay, I'm just being honest. I'm really appalled by it. Anyway, what he says is he's pointing out the things in his book, like, and well, of course, it's the New World Order, and President Bush Sr. talked about it. He said, we're going to bring a new world order. He did a whole speech about it like 20 years ago or something, and nobody had a clue. Now it's here. But there's many facets to the New World Order. It's the Trilateral Commission. Jim Marrs is talking about all this in his book. The Trilateral Commission, Council on Foreign Relations, the Illuminati, the Committee of 300, of course the CIA. And the CIA has been involved in everything. They're the intelligence part of it. They're also involved in all the drug trafficking for decades. There's also the Skull and Bones, the Knights of Malta, the Inner Circles of Freemasonry. And the other thing I want to say about the CIA, and I still have these Dodge Chargers after me. One thing that I personally have noticed that I've never heard anybody talk about is just that these people, it seems like they all are operating on like a hive mind, because all of them that I have encountered act the same exact way. It's like the same exact personality, and then, manipulative, controlling, that type of thing. And my understanding now is that they're all chipped, and it's all like an AI, and it's literally like a hive mind that they operate on. And literally, they're extremely dangerous because they're hooked into the AR. They're like walking robots. Okay, and I just watched this movie that really scared me too, called Megan 3, Megan 3, and it's this movie based on a robot that's this lady created. She worked for one of these tech companies, and she was experimenting with it with her niece, and they were paired together, and then the robot just started acting on its own without the stuff that she programmed, and started becoming extremely overly protective of the girl, and then and overly protective, and then she ended up killing this young boy that was like acting like a bully toward to the girl, and then she killed, and then the robot got out at night and started and killed a neighbor. I mean, you know, and she was operating on her own without any program, and so I think the AI and there's other videos that I saw where these robots go out of control and they completely start operating on their own outside of the programs that they were programmed for. And so I think we have to be really aware of this AI and how dangerous it can be. You know, that movie scared me, and I think the whole AI thing and robot thing has to be definitely re-looked at, of the dangers involved. So anyway, then he goes on to say they will wield undue influence. Okay, so there's the Skull and Bones, Knights of Malta also, and the inner circles of the Freemasonry. They wield undue influence over the news media and world governments and multinational corporations as well as private organizations. They are many hidden powers of control, but he says the most powerful are the interlocking dictates of the major banks. So I have issues with the banks all the time. Like right now, I still don't have that money returned to me. I can't get travel pay right now from the VA. We got that Optum company that has these fake employees taking over the VA right now. That's just rooting the VA. I mean, somebody has to handle that. You know, you can't allow that to happen at the VA. These are not even real employees. That Optum company needs to be handled and removed from all operations of the VA. So the most powerful are, like I said, are the major banks, corporations, insurance companies. It's called the military industrial complex. Okay, so this is just, I'm still reading this book, but that's just part of it, what I wanted to share today. And then the verses that I wanted to read as far as selfishness, you know, because it's a spirit of selfishness, okay, that is over that we have to realize that, you know, we've been really selfish, and but yet we expect God to save us. You know, it's just doesn't work like that. The opposite of selfishness is humility, selfless love, a focus on the needs of others. Philippians 2:3-4, do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourself, not looking to your own interests, but each of you to the interests of each other. That's Philippians 2:3-4. James 3:16, for where jealousy and selfish ambition exist, there will be disorder and vile practice. Proverbs 11:25, a generous person will prosper, but whoever whoever refreshes others will be refreshed. Okay, so I just wanted to share that today.